Morning everybody, so we're back on fishing a match today. We're at Little John Lakes again, and there's 20 of us fishing the Robin Hood Lake and Maid Marrion Lake. It's Monday the 28th of March. It's a lovely mild day. It's gorgeous weather, flat calm. Been fishing its head off the last week. We've had a week of springtime sunshine, so it's been absolutely beautiful. But before I get into tactics and talk to you about myself, I've been a bit of a plonker. I've not read the rules properly, so I've come unstuck. In the previous match, you've seen me have been feeding with the pole cup while my rod's out. It's been, the rules have changed here, you're not allowed to do that. And it's been quite a while ago, so I've got only myself to blame, so apologies for that. But just a word of caution there, so if you go to a new venue, or you go to a venue that you've been for a long time and the rules may have changed a little bit, always refresh yourself with the rules. So at Little John Lakes, you're not allowed to feed, if you've got your feeder with your pole cup. That's certainly one for me to live and learn by. And on a previous video you see me swinging fishing as well on the Fly Tuck Lake, fishing silver fishing, and although there were only small fish I was swinging in, you're not allowed to swing fishing. So again, I broke the rules on that one as well, so please read the rules very carefully and follow them. Right, so back onto today's match then. I drew peg 7 on Maid Marrion. I said there's 20 of us, there's 10 of us on Robin Hood and 10 of us on Maid Marrion, so it should be a great match today. Fish look like they're in a feeding mood, they're all mooching around, they're all having a good look, and so it has been fishing its head off. It is full of fish. There's loads of fish coming around on the surface, so I've set a shallow rig up, which is also the same as my margin rig. So I'm not going too far away at the moment. I've got a big margin to my left, which I'll just hang around and show you. Peg 7 goes right into the corner, and if you can see, in the corner there's loads of scum. And it was set up with the wind's been blowing into it, so it looks a great peg with there's fish under that down in that corner. So I can reach that with a little method feeder. And I can also fish my margins to my left. But I've also set up, because obviously now I've got an island at 13 metres, which is quite deep there, it's a good 5 foot deep next to it. And there's fish mooching around that, so I can fish shallow next to that. Which I never encouraged you to do on previous match last year, fish shallow next to it, about 100 pound of fish. But my starting lines, because the fish seem to be really looking for food, I'm going to fish on top 2 plus 2 and just start on probably a bit of paste or a bit of banded pellet or a bit of corn, just on those close in lines, and just have a look early to see if they're really coming onto the feed. So that's my starting point anyway. Right, it's nearly time for the off. Speak to you in a minute. So there's nothing on the paste line to start with. I've gone shallow against the island, about a foot deep, on a banded pellet. It's more of a mugging rig than a shallow rig. There's a long line in it. We were 10 minutes in, and Doggy's had one, Brian Cox has had one. It's like a nice fish. I don't think it's a honey monster, but it's outside the mouth. nice fish. It's a proper fish, that one. Probably £6, £7 maybe. That's a nice fish as well from the river. It's a beauty. Oh. I'm still fishing shallow on banded pellet, about a foot deep. We've had the 4 fish, lost one. One was lost was definitely foul hooked. Came back with a little mirror scale on it. And I'm really just intercepting fish that are coming around the barrels at shallow depth. They're mooching around in the upper layers. They're not taking any feed. I'm not feeding anything at the moment. I fed pellets and paste on my top 2+2 line, but they didn't come to it at all. I pretty much ignored it. So I decided not to feed for the first hour and watch what everybody else is doing as well. So to catch 4 so far, I'm pretty happy with that. So my rig is about 4 feet long, 3 feet lash, and then 1 foot of depth with a little dibber. So I can move the rig around and not fishing my pole above my float, so as not to spook them. So I can fish, you know, almost 3 feet away from the float on a pole. At the moment, just odd fish being caught. I think I hooked a little honey monster down the margin. Same rig, same depth, really shallow, closer to the bank. It's just wallowing at the moment. This one swam towards us, pretending to be a little one. Nice comment. A little 16 hook on, so I'm taking my time with the fish. Lost a couple already. Nice comment. Look nicely in the side of the mouth. Looks £5 or £6. So the rig I'm using today, I've got 6-inch trace, 16 hook with a band on. Put a banded pellet on it, little dibber. And I've got, that's just over a foot deep. I've got 3 foot of line from the pole to the float, probably 2.5 foot. So it's I'm placing it as a long lining. Just put a banded pellet on. Looks like that. Little dibber, banded pellet, just for a foot deep, and then a 2 to 3 foot long line. For an hour and a half in, and I've only really just started feeding a few pellets around the barrels and a few on my margin to the right. That's all I'm feeding at the moment. I'm going over the top of it. It's going crazy, isn't it? This one's really tearing around. Don't think this is up properly at all. Just get onto the top here. It is up properly. Just a hard fighter. Good fish as well. Good comment. Trying to get around the back of the island. mirror. Big scales on it. Yeah. It's 11:45 and that net's now got 49 pound in, or thereabouts. So, like one more fish in that, and then we'll start with the net. So it's fishing fantastic at the minute. With 9 carp. That's a proper fish, isn't it, Brian, that one? That's a proper one, isn't it? It's a nice mirror. Chunky one. £6. So that's full stop. I've got £60 on the fish. We've had a fantastic first 2 hours. See on the footage there's a tornado in the car park. Yeah, I'm filming it. It's a whirlwind. That's come out of the bin. Come out of the bin in the car park. Yeah, I've got it on film. Wow. I hope you could see that. That was a whirlwind in the car park, twisted like a mini twister. Yeah, I would do. Probably. It blew his kit over. Whirlwind went up, and then it took the bag out the bin and took off. Hooked what feels like a really good fish. And top 2+2, to a margin to my left. Just on 2 grains of corn. But the wind had changed around and all the scum that was on the water had blown to my right, and I'd not got any bites, and it started to come back in, and I've got a fish straight away. This feels heavy. It's just plodding around. I think this is a proper fish, this one. It's a proper fish, this one is. We have a drone overhead. Oh, it's a barbel. Who's that all there? Who's this, the drone, Beardy? This is a barbel, but it's not hooked properly. I can't get in the net, it's too long. I've got it. It's a barbel. Yeah. You're plodding around. It's a beauty, that is. Look at that. Okay, pull back. 5 pound. Got it in the end. Alright, quick time check. Right, 3 minutes to 1. So I'm just having a bit of a change. Fish seem to have moved off from this area, but I've chucked a method feeder down towards pretty much out of pole range. See if we can get that one fish, probably £4 or £5 that fish was. So obviously a great first half of the match. Brian's catching in his margin on peg 9. Quite a few fish being caught. I think I've got 12 fish now. Maybe 13. So I've been feeding a margin line with pot, pellets and corn. Top 2 plus 2 to my left. I've got one barbel off it, no other bites. Still flirting a few pellets in on the margin line at 14 metres and next to the barrels. A barbel, shallow near the island. Surprising, isn't it? Yeah, little one. About a pound. This is shallow out near the barrels again. This feels like a barbel again. Might be wrong, but it is a barbel. Have a quick look at it. Lovely fish. One of these crazy barbel, I think. Yeah. Don't mind catching these. Lovely. So feeding my margin top 2, let's do with corn, micros, and a bit of corn. Right, so it's 10 past 2. Seems to have switched off the lake just a little bit. Certainly not feeding like we was expecting them to. I think I've got, I have 12 carp and 4 barbel. This might be a barbel as well. Yeah, a small carp. This is barbel. I can't get anything in the margins to my left. The last hour. At least you're laughing at me. I don't think I've had a carp this afternoon since 1 o'clock. I've had 3 or 4 barbel. So at the moment, I'm not catching any carp down my long margin line, although there's 1 or 2 mooching around down there. The top 2+2 line I'm just trying again now. I've not tried it for a while. So the ones jumping out, leaping for freedom down there are slightly out of range, so I've tried method feeder down there, but we'll try it again in a minute. What's it now? Let's have a quick time check. It's just gone 2:30, so we've got last hour and a half. Just had a few barbel and no carp. Well, that scum's blown back down in that far corner again. A few fish have followed it in. I think it looked more like a little roach bite, that was. Just go right down in the corner and I can see the fish there, but they're just slurping in the scum off the top. They're not getting their heads down on the feed at the moment. So I've got like a dobbing rig on at the moment, even longer line, out near the barrels. They're not taking anything on them feeder down to my left hand corner. They just seem to be mooching around just underneath the scum and slurping off the top. See if we can get a bite near here. This was working really well this morning, this shallow line, but it's not worked at all this afternoon really for carp. A few barbel off it, but no carp. It's almost 3 o'clock now, so I'm running out of time, the last hour. Some proper fishing, all that one.
Yeah, but I've got the hook in.
Get some more crazy barbel. Get there in the end. It's 20 past 3, that's my first carp since 1 o'clock. Only a little one. Another one on crazy barbel. There's a carp. There's a carp. Look at common. £4, maybe 5. Right, so it's about 10 to 4, I think, last 10 minutes. I think I've got 14 or 15 carp and 6 or 7 barbel, including one nice barbel about £5. Most people have been catching fish, from what I can see. Brian's had a lot to my right off peg 9, the margins on the feeder. Ian Carr's next to him on peg 11, he's been catching well. Oh, that's a very slow bite, even at this depth could have been a liner. Either way, I missed it. So I've up one with 5 minutes to go. Went round the back of the barrels, but I managed to keep it on. Hope it's up properly and get it in. Looks like a nice fish. Oh, there we have it. Lovely common. It's one of the biggest of the day. Beautiful. That's your lot. Right, that's your lot. Last fish of the day. I've got somewhere, I think, between 80 and 90, something like that. Didn't have a very good afternoon, but had a great morning. It was a lovely day's fishing, really. But don't think I won anything. Brian's done really well. So we'll get packed away. Speak to you in a bit. No.
No.
Half that.
Oh, in one bit.
I should have had 160.
I'm not saying you've got 60 total.
Oh no, I've got 50 in the left one and probably 30 so in the right hand one. I was going to put them all in one net and just see what you said. I think there's about 50 in that one.
What's that?
That's first hour and a half, that was.
47.
47?
47-1.
You've got a smile in the background.
No, you don't know. 0.
I thought, if I get near 50, I'm not putting any more fish in that net because I've gone over before. Because sometimes you can't judge the size of the fish, can you?
No.
There's some right beasts in here, and they're thick and all, they're solid fish.
36, 35, 36, 35, 11.
Thank you very much. Lovely barbel in there. Oh, barbel. Thank you. About all I thought I'd got. I've gotten most of them this morning.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers. Right, so what a match that was. I mean, there was 20 of us fishing, so we had Robin Hood Lake and Maid Marrion Lake, and between us we had nearly £1,500 of fish at an average of £77 per angler, which is phenomenal for March. But we had a week of warm weather, although they have, the fish have been caught and there have been quite a few matches. To fish it on a Monday and catch this quantity of fish is absolutely fantastic. It just shows you how good the venue actually is. So on Maid Marrion, which is the lake I drew, I was on peg 7 and I ended up with £82 and won the section, and second on the lake. Mick Smith won the lake with £116 and he rotated round. He had his shallow line, he had a margin line, he had a feeder line, and he was catching a few fish off each, and he actually had a phenomenal match to win with £116. Was well done to Mick Smith. So that was Maid Marrion Lake. On to the Robin Hood Lake, the averages were slightly higher on this lake, and third was Steve Ratsky with £108. Second was Sean Anran with £133. I think he was on peg 15. And he was catching on corn and paste. But the winner was hot favourite Richie Evans, who fished peg 11, and he was fishing out to his island on banded pellet and to his left in the margins. So £154, it was a phenomenal weight. Well done to Richie. But I mean, well done to everybody today, and we've all stuck at it. We all caught good weights of fish, and it was a phenomenal match. My match was a strange one. The first hour and a half, I thought I got about £50 in the net, so I put that net to one side and I got 10 and 11 fish in it. And it actually weighed in at £47, so I had £47 in one net by about 11:30. The rest of the day, I struggled. I caught a few before about 1 o'clock. Then after 1 o'clock, I really struggled. I got a few barbel and only 2 or 3 carp, might have been 3 carp in the last 3 hours. So I really struggled, and I thought I was on for a really big weight. Certainly I thought I was going to be doing the ton, but it didn't work out that way. But I managed to scrape the section because just by about £2, just beating Brian Cox to a right hand side, who was fishing phenomenal again, and he was catching really well in his margins. So it was an excellent match. Would I do anything differently? I was catching on banded pellets shallow. They didn't really want any feed thrown at them. If you fired bait out, they weren't really interested in it. So I was lifting and dropping. In the margins, I was on my left, and I was doing this very similar with the same sort of rig, lifting and dropping a banded pellet and getting the odd fish that didn't come to the pace line. And I had one fish off the short margin line to my left, which was that nice barbel. So I had to move things around a little bit.
but generally I caught shallow on banded pallet was the trick for me today, without really feeding anything. The first hour I didn't feed anything at all, and then I gradually increased a little bit of feed. But yeah, what a brilliant match. I think we're back there again in another couple of weeks. I think we're looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather will carry on and we'll have another good match on there. But thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click like and subscribe, and like I said earlier on, please always read the rules before you fish your venue, and always check them, because they're often changing, all with very good reasons for them changing, and I've learned a lesson in this. We're moving on to the next match. Thank you very much for watching. We'll finish with a few highlights. Bye for now.
That's a lovely comment. What's the barb, isn't it? Thank you.